Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first head-to-head podcast with myself and my co-host or co-podcaster, whatever you want to call him.
Hello, guys.
Simone. How do we start this off? Do we introduce ourselves? We introduce the podcast. So for anyone that's listening and whoever's going to listen, this is the number one podcast of Malta. And if it's not yet, it's going to be.
Agreed.
Mark our words, Yeah, so this podcast, I bet you're asking yourself, what's this going to be about? Like, I'm telling you, that's by far the most annoying question.
And
we get it every single time.
The most.
I don't think we didn't get it. I don't think once someone just went, "Oh, you're starting a podcast? Cool." Everyone went, what are you gonna talk about? It's like
Not mentioning any names.
there are podcasts that are like specifically about certain things, but like, do they never hear? Like, the most popular podcasts are literally just like conversations with people and the guests and stuff like that. Like Joe Rogan, the Impulsive Podcast. I think the big one with Your Mom's House, yeah. That's very comedic though. I love that podcast. It's great. I heard like the big one, a really big one is what, Call Her Daddy or something.
Yes,
but that's a lot about like, oh, it's girls gossip. Yeah. That's the whole thing about it. Some shit like that.
Another podcast that I think is really similar.
They talk about like
Fresh and Fit.
Fresh and
is
Fit,
a lot about like just girl.
But that's yeah. There are a lot like, get on your shit, fucking go to the gym, get $1 billion, live in Miami, get multiple women. This is how you succeed in life.
Yep.
And then and then there's things like like other podcasts. There's a bunch of podcasts. We're a bit late to the trend, but this is the first episode. We're gonna try to make it less than an hour. Somewhere around 45 minutes an hour. We're going to talk about... So basically this podcast isn't... Yeah. What?
Short introduction?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so my name is Zach. I'm from Malta. That's about it. No, I mean... Okay, I don't know what to get into, really. We're both young. Should we even say age? Or are we going to get like off? We can't get kicked off for being... I'm 16. I'm from Malta. I just finished high school, I guess, or as they say here, secondary. I remember someone recently said, like, bro, I thought you were American because you didn't even... It was at the thing. I'm going to be... I guess if you're in other places, you'd call it college. If you're here, you just call it, like... MCAST or sixth form or whatever. So... that's probably a topic that's going to come up because right now it's September. It's September, which is it's the end of the month. Everyone starts school, or the beginning of October. I personally start school. I don't got much going on for me, I guess. I'm trying to take it easy for the summer, although I do really want to be doing other things. But yeah, that's enough about me. Simone?
So, hello guys. My name is Simone. I'm same age as Zach, 16. I'm originally Italian, so for all my Italian watchers out there, shout out to all of you.
Aspetta.
I finished high school, and I am not going to continue my studying. I'm going to try to start roughly a career. Maybe in the future I'm going to mention on the podcast, but for now I want to kind of keep it kind of personal. But yeah, that's pretty much all you really need to know about me. You'll get to know me through the podcast, hopefully, better. And yeah. Anyways, I think we should get into some topics that may be interesting.
The thing is, let's talk about just the podcast itself. So basically what we want to do is a couple episodes. The first couple of episodes, we're obviously going to have guests on. And I think the first couple of ones, the first 5 to 10 episodes, we're going to have mainly close friends and people we know already.
I agree.
We find interesting in real life and that we know and are connected. Like, no one popular, no one big, no one whatever. Just like people we can genuinely feel comfortable talking to. And you'll be kind of... It's like you're going into just... Honestly, a couple like young teenagers, a couple, boys, a couple just people's conversations.
And another thing, remember, guys, here it's genuinely just our pure opinion. So, like, obviously you can judge us for it and everything, but just
it's conversation too. Like a lot of people, that's the thing. Like I personally will talk about things that like I just don't agree with at all, or like, and that doesn't mean I have to say like, but this is wrong, this is right. A lot of people, like, it's the same thing like that time like we were in the car or whatever. Like, bro, literally now, if you say like I like Andrew Tate, like everyone goes, "Do you like that guy? What are you, a misogynist?" I'm just like, I mean, they could agree with some of the things he says. Like, that doesn't mean like, even if he does, like,
We'll get on the topic
you
later.
base people's character.
Yeah.
So base our like meet us in real life and then say shit. Like, this is just a podcast. Obviously, you'd probably get to know us if you don't know us. I bet everyone that's watching this episode knows us and is like laughing their ass off. I'm trying to be as self-aware as possible because I don't want to get shit later. If I'm being honest, like, I don't want someone to come, you sound stupid on the pod. I'm like, fuck, like shit. But now that I'm saying this, I'm like, yeah, but I knew you were gonna say that. All right, I'm too much in my own head. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Roughly, the first 5 to 10 episodes, we're going to have close friends on, people that we know, good conversations, interactions with either people that we've met, close friends. And we're just going to, it's basically, this whole podcast is just conversating. Like, that's the best way I can put it, is head-to-head conversation.
Yeah.
That's where the
name comes from.
Name comes from. It's just, we talk about opinions, current things that are going on, like, obviously, right now every podcast is talking about Andrew Tate and Sneeko and whatever.
I think in general, mainstream media pretty much, and just topics about that are mainstream
life,
right now.
even current, like, something. It's literally what we just do. Yeah. It's just what Simone and I, our whole like friendship was legit just built on just conversating, 100%. And I just want this to be like a window to that. Just like someone listening into that. I heard someone say, like, the Joe Rogan podcast is literally like, I think it was Joey Diaz. He said it on an episode. He's like, you can't think of this as like you're in a radio, you're on a podcast, you're on whatever. He's like, you got to think of it as the FBI wired your, like tapped your wire. Yeah. And they're listening in. Yeah. And you're just talking to a friend. Yeah. And that's how I like to think of it, where it's just, I'm talking to you. Yeah. I'm going to say the same shit I would to you. I hope that people understand that it's like, some of the things I say are my opinion. Some of the things I say are my opinion, and you don't have to agree. You can disagree. Me and you have pretty similar views, but there are a few definitely different things where, mashes and mixes and stuff like that. But for the most part, we're going to take it laid back for the first 5 to 10 episodes. Like I said, we're going to try to pump out the first 5 to 10 as fast as we can. Yeah. We'll take breaks in between. Each 5 episodes or so, I want it to improve with quality and maybe even get it on other platforms, design a better logo and better titles and all that stuff, have bigger, better guests, maybe an actual like place, because right now we're just doing it at like somewhere. So the plan is to just start. Like, we're not doing this because, I'm doing this. We have really good equipment and really good sound, and like, it's a great start. But I don't want to get fixated on, it's got to be perfect. We got to get the camera. We got to make it look good. I want it to be, I just want to start. So the first couple of episodes, take them how they are. They're just conversations, a window into, a tap on the wire. So, I
see you prepared a few topics, which is quite interesting.
Some bullet points.
Good.
So, I guess the first one is we could just talk about like living in Malta and Gozo. That's something that's...
Okay. Well,
so what's your opinion? You are Italian. You lived in Ireland for a couple of years. So what's your view overall of Malta and Gozo and the islands of the Maltese Islands?
So I think in general, living in an island instead of a peninsula, or in general of a main piece of land that is attached, it's way different. You see, I've noticed a lot of culture obviously is different, but it's just because of people. But mostly it's like you can feel the air is more natural, especially because the sea really purifies. And another thing, a lot of people are scared to go to a country which is smaller than their current one. The reason is because they don't want to step out, and they don't want to because they think a smaller country will be boring. Now, from my experience, I will let you know that I personally prefer...
Yeah, you recently moved to Malta.
I recently moved to Malta from Gozo, and I realized that I preferred Gozo a lot more, in the sense of it's more cozy. It's more, you know everyone, and it actually feels good. Obviously, it has its disadvantages, but living in a place like Italy, it's very like, to see your friend, you have to take a train that takes an hour and a half, and you have
It's
to,
like Gozo is a home. Like,
yeah,
it's legit. The
exactly.
whole island is like a home. Everyone kind of shares something with each other. Everyone knows each other, and that's a blessing and a curse, in my opinion. I've lived in Gozo my entire life. I went to Malta obviously multiple times, Camino a couple times. The Maltese islands I've like lived my whole life. I've only gotten out once when I was 3 years old to the U.S. Don't remember anything. I went to New York, and like nothing, no recollection of that at all. So not in my memory at all.
First big
And then another time when I was 9, I went to Disneyland Paris, and I barely remember that. I remember just looking at a road and being like, I'm in a different country, but I don't remember anything else.
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
remember the hotel I was in and Disneyland itself, but I don't remember like Paris and the Eiffel Tower and traveling. Like I was like 9, so yeah, to me it's like all I've had is here, and that was also like 2 days. It wasn't like a couple of weeks where I could remember and make memories there or anything. It was just
Obviously.
my brother and my dad and I, and yeah. So to me, I've like this is all I've had, and I think a lot about like the disadvantages of it because of you want what you can't have type thing. Where
Yeah,
I'm always
definitely.
just like fuck. I wish I lived somewhere bigger. Like when I was younger, I just dreamt of like living in New York. Now that I'm older, I'm like no, like I'm okay.
Yeah.
I want to live in other places or go to like I don't think a city is for me, but I can see why I was attracted to that when I was younger because it's the exact opposite to where I live, where it's like a small remote island.
Yeah.
Everyone knows each other. Everyone's like a city looked so grand to me, and I just saw all the benefits that I can't get here.
Yeah. But
But when you think about it, and then as I got older, I started to appreciate it more, and I'm like, like everyone I hear that comes from a big city, they're like, I love it here, man. It's so quiet. I don't have to like, no traffic, no traveling, no bullshit, no like bumping into people everywhere you
Shooting
go.
on
Like,
the
and I'm like,
streets.
what?
Shooting on the streets.
Yeah. Legit, like LA, it's like
Not that it's
homeless
funny, but-
people everywhere. That's how New York used to be back a while ago, and then now it's like homeless people everywhere.
Yeah, I genuinely think I genuinely think most people should take their time for once to come to Gozo and have a vacation.
It's a good place.
It's not a bad place, trust me. At first, it can seem quite, especially the people here. You need to get some getting used to, but I think that's with every like kind of like race, kind of not race, but like
Every country you go to, every place.
like you have to adapt to them, but they might seem a bit loud. They're quite like Italian.
Yeah, we're loud as fuck.
But apart from that, it's a great country. I genuinely think it's one of my favorites, including Ireland. I think Italy.
I think if you have confidence, this is the best place.
100%.
I can literally, if you have like any shred of like self, like, yeah, I could like, yeah, then you'll do amazing here.
Yeah.
It's so small. If I'm being honest, like no one even does anything.
Yeah.
Like that's a good thing. And,
Yeah.
and it's,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
confidence here is not hard to get. I mean,
That's what I
it's,
mean. Like it's not hard to be
like guys like
at the top
here
at
I'm
all.
considered like I don't know, like I'm not
Like,
I'm
you
trying to
literally-
be as selfless as I can, but like I'm considered like a fucking 9 or some shit, and like
you can go
I
there
don't,
and then you
I
go
don't. Like I'm not a 9. I'm like
and then you go to Russia and you're
exactly,
like,
and like then you go to Italy, and I'm like, well, I'm just an average boy, right? But it's not because I'm necessarily good looking. It's because the people around me don't match the same standards.
that's all it is. It's what you see around you, you know.
But yeah, I definitely think that my whole point with this is genuinely, personally, moving 3 countries in my whole life. Trust me, it's worth it. Take the risk, step out of your comfort zone, go to a country that you haven't been in,
And jump off a cliff.
and don't jump off a cliff in a sense.
Into the sea, into the sea. Please do not. Okay, we're already gonna get canceled for like fucking. YouTube's gonna give us a strike, being like, it's trying to prevent suicide or whatever the fuck. Fucking hell.
But yeah, that's my message towards the Malta point. That's for sure. I think people need to step out of the comfort zone more.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I really like think a lot about just like moving out. getting out of here, going somewhere else, the first step is just to move to Malta. And all I've heard is like that Gozo's better, and I've lived in Gozo my whole life, and I can see why Gozo is better, but also I have such a big attraction to Malta because it's something that it's like home, but like not home at the same time, because this Malta, it's still like Malta because they're islands, but Gozo is different. Like you get out of your house and you see 4 people that know you.
It's
You walk a couple, people know you.
It's the complete opposite. Yeah.
Like it's that's the one thing that like I go to Malta and I get energy. Just like maybe a bit too much. I get energy from just like being at such a crowded area, or knowing that in like the nearest 100-meter radius, no one knows me. Yeah. No one fucking knows me. I know this sounds weird, but it's so true. Like I go to Malta and I'm like, in a way, I could be whatever I want to be. Yeah. Like in Gozo, I'm Zack. In Gozo, I'm that guy that everyone. Oh yeah, I know that guy from high school. That guy's at Rizzles all the time. Corbin and Gary are just shout out. And Corbin and Gary are just there. Like everyone's just everyone. It's the curse of being in a small town or whatever the fuck. Definitely. It's the same shit.
But I get what you mean. Yeah. It's different. Yeah. It is nice to people not to know you and be able to like, even if you really like want to, like you said, bro, like
thing is you feel like there's no one new.
Yeah,
that's the thing I don't like about it. Yeah, I go like there's no possible friends I could make. I know that sounds weird and it's obviously not true, but at our age and like the limit, like I don't want to hang out with people who are older. I don't want to hang out with people that are younger. People that are my age, similar interests, similar whatever. The time that I have to spend the time, like there's a very few.
Yeah.
Literally, there's only like what 2-3 schools. No. One of them is whatever. The other one is whatever, and then the one we go to, we know everyone there. And it's either half of them just don't even bother with. They're bots, and then. Some of them you're like they're good, some of them whatever, some of them study too much, some of them like, and you end up with like 10 people, and then even then, some of them you're like
those 10 people. There are like I think out of 10 people, out of 10 friends you have, I think a saying that my mom used to always say: if you have more friends than you can keep on your hands, you don't have 100% real friends.
I say even 5 is too much.
Yeah,
I'd say legit like actual friends.
Yeah,
I consider very few people my actual friends.
Yeah.
Because a friendship, when you say friendship, like that's like it's a relationship with a friend where it's like you need to genuinely like trust them.
Yeah.
And it's not even about a relationship. Is obviously when like attraction comes into it. You loyal to each other to a degree. That's like when you're in a friendship, there's also loyalty, but not to the degree of like a relationship, obviously. But yeah, and there's like sexual stuff in it and stuff. But a friendship, that's what a real friend is. Just like the trust part. Yeah. The communication part that comes with every relationship, even your boss, the thing like those 2 things are the most important. But when you can say you trust someone, they have to be kind of your friend, 100%. Family, whatever. But yeah, friendship, family. That's the thing. Like legit, you just know everyone here. That's the thing, and I feel like you probably have a bit more of a like you like it a bit more here. You have more of an attraction to here because you lived in Italy and in Ireland. So when you came here, it wasn't really like, it's like, to me, this is just home. I grew up here. I literally go outside and I have people who've known me since I was a baby. I have people, I legit on an average, like I meet multiple people who have literally they're like, I remember when your mom was pregnant with you. Yeah. Or I remember when you were 3 years old. They go up to you and they go, oh, I remember when you were like this tall, and it's like just you. I'm like, I don't fucking know you. Like,
Who the hell are you?
I saw that somewhere a while ago. It was like,
Yeah,
do you know
yeah.
when you just get someone and it's like your mom's like, oh, do you know him? Remember him when you were little? No, I was 3. I can't remember shit. And it's like you get that constantly here because everyone knows everyone.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
But the worst part about it is the gossip. That's by far. The gossip, the shit talking, the whatever, that's the thing. Because it's so small. It's the same thing with a group. If it's a small group, you have to... You gotta like gossip a bit or whatever.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I agree with that. I have had a bit of times where people have like did what you just said. Anyways, I want to ask you about something, which I was just looking at my notes, and if you don't mind passing me my phone. So. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna entertain in the meantime and say...
Okay. Yeah. So my question to my co-host Zach is, what do you think people our age should be striving to accomplish, or
what they should be doing with
Yeah.
goals and shit.
yeah, what do you think?
It depends. Obviously, my answer to everything in life is it depends. It depends
Yes.
who you are. Depends what you
will
want.
notice this a
Depends
lot
what
about
you
this
value.
person.
Because it changes everything. You cannot say someone at this age should be doing this. Well, maybe not. Maybe that works out worse for them because that's not what they want. That's not what their values are. That's not whatever. That's not. They react worse to stuff like that. Everyone's different. I think if you're all right, here comes the misogyny. I think if you're a dude and you're a chick, I'm not going to use that. Okay, if you're a male or female, it's very different. I think
And
women mature more at this age. Like, I think if you're a girl, you should not fuck around with guys younger than you at all. Like, just don't.
Agreed.
That's one. Like, don't do that. If also... Be careful who you date, man and woman, like boys, girls.
Yeah.
Just don't fuck around. Like, I get it. But to me, I always told myself when I was younger, when I was 10 till about 14, I literally always said I'm not gonna do anything or get into a relationship with anyone until I'm at least 14, 15 at the earliest.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I mean, 15, 14 at the earliest. Because I was literally like, there's no point. Middle school relationships go nowhere. Or at least very few do. And at least I didn't know anyone. I had like, oh, this girl's cute. Like, but nothing. So much. I see so much people my age just go into relationship blind. Yeah. They go into relationships blind, like literally not knowing anything about the person, not caring, just not. They literally, men and boys mainly do it because they're lonely.
Yeah.
And the girls either do it because they don't know what they're doing, or they're just like, honestly, I don't know. So everyone's different. Some people put their insecurities on someone. Some people do it for validation. Some people do it because they're genuinely like bit of a hoe, you know. But I mean, that's like that's in my opinion. Like literally, if you have been in a relationship with someone for longer than 2 months at the age of like 15, 16, younger, whatever, good on you. Value that, care about that. Do not get into legit. If you're looking at someone in the eyes, you want to ask them out. They asked you out. You're about to get in, and you're in your head, you're like, this won't last more than 2 weeks. Why would you do it? What like if just know what you're doing, what you're putting your time into, what you're whatever. Be more self-aware. I think that's what I'd say in general would work for most people. Be more self-aware. What the fuck am I doing? I don't think everyone should be trying to get money. I don't think everyone should be working their ass off. I don't think everyone should be fucking around and doing drugs and whatever. There's a limit and a balance to everything. The way I like to do it is like you do a little bit of this and then you do a little bit of that and you try things out. Like if you're really young, don't drink, don't smoke, don't do anything. But when you get older, try that shit. Because that was my thing. When I was a lot younger, I was like, or like even just 2 years ago. I wasn't that much younger, but like when I first started hanging out with the group and stuff, and started going out more, started going to parties and shit like that, everyone was like, I'd be the sober guy. I'd be the guy that doesn't drink, that doesn't do anything, that doesn't whatever. And I liked that for a long time. But when I turned, I don't want to get like illegal. It's Europe, okay? It's Europe. When I turned 15, I was like, I want to start doing shit. I want to start going to more parties. I want to start having more fun. I want to start not being the sober guy. I didn't hate it, and it's good. I think you should be proud of that if you are the sober guy, if you're the guy who doesn't do any drugs.
I think another thing you should point out is don't be afraid of not fitting in. If you are the sober guy, like
take
Zach is saying it, take it as like a take.
Do you know what? Like the first time we hung out, me, you, Mia, Jacob. Like at first I got like legit like made fun of. Hamid I think was there too. I got like made fun of, like, oh, you don't drink, just drink pussy, whatever. And then a week later it's like, oh, he doesn't like. And then I legit got things like the number one thing I'd get is, how are you not drunk? How are you acting? How are you this energetic? How are you acting like this when you're not drunk? Take that as a like legit. Be like, you could still have fun without alcohol. That's the thing. You can still have fun without drugs. You can still fit in without smoking that cigarette.
Definitely. I think what Zach is saying is a really valid point that I really like a lot, which a lot of people have this misconception of, you drink, you will have more fun. Now, I'm not saying drinking doesn't make things fun, but
what it does is there's a receptor in your brain that it gives you less anxiety.
Yeah.
That's why really anxious people or people who have social anxiety love it, addicted.
Exactly.
Immediately.
That's the thing is, it makes you really comfortable. But if you have that energy from the go without the alcohol, that is the best thing. And I think it's sad when I see people like that get into alcohol. The reason is they lose that. They lose that side of them to a certain level. And it's like, why would you ever lose that? I personally never had it to the extent Zach did. I used to hang out with him even before he drank. And he had the energy and always the fun vibe. I used to, but I lost it now. And it definitely got, if I didn't start doing what I did, I definitely think it might have even got him stronger.
I think for me, yeah, too. Like once I took a couple months just being sober, and it, like, you could tell, you're like, it's different. Like after a prolonged time, like if you're like a week sober, a couple days sober, that's nothing. But if you take like months off, you go out, you go to parties sober, you try to have fun sober, you notice it's very first of all, you notice how much bullshit you're doing, 100%. How much bullshit you're doing, how much time you're wasting, how much, like, you just become, oh my god, am I really listening to this person?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like legit, some people I'm just like, oh my god, how does anyone talk to you? Like, no, I'm just being dead ass. Like, it's just true.
Just say it. I mean,
so people are just names, like, what are you even? You're not. You either talk about yourself, you either talk about something that just happened. But like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Why am I at this party? It's 2 a.m. I should just go home. Like, I have a lot of that. I have a lot of, like, the clubbing is a waste of time. I have a lot, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just, sometimes it just, maybe it's because I just have so much high goals that, like, if you don't, I used to be, last year I was like that. And maybe it's because it was new.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I had never done anything, and then the minute I said, when it's new, you're like, whoa, it's fun, and then it gets old, and then you're like, I've done this before. It's because it's the same thing. Going to Rizzles is nothing. Yeah. It's literally depressing now.
Yeah. Zach sees this, or a lot of people that have hanged out with me and went out to parties with me, especially if they have been with me for a long time, they can notice that I get bored of parties these days, and like. Basically how I'm gonna like describe it and compare it to is drugs, because it's always chasing the next high, which is what Zach says, and you always chase the best party and you always chase a better. But what if you just take a break from it? And I'm telling you, that will make it even better. You will go to any party and it will feel like amazing. I'm telling you, I personally haven't worn headphones and listened to music while walking. I'm talking in about
me too.
3 months. 3 months. And I feel amazing. I feel like I walk with proudness. I feel like I walk with knowing what's going on around me. But when I do put those headphones on and I do listen to music when I walk, it's way different than before.
The
I became
dopamine hit.
numb.
That's all it is.
I became numb to it. And then now I'm like, I actually like, wow. And
You
it's
like yeah.
it gets you back to like how you started.
Same thing. I heard the people who have coffee on like a daily basis, if they take 6 months off, the first time that they have a dose of caffeine, I heard it's literally a spiritual experience or something like it's up there with like psychedelics, like a psychedelic, like to that level vivid. Like you start like the energy you get is like phenomenal because you take that much off.
Yeah.
I'm very sensitive to caffeine. I don't know. I maybe that's how it feels. Maybe it's just 10 times more. I don't know. But that's what I hear. Same thing with like, even if you just do take like a break off alcohol, music, certain dopamines, certain whatever, once you get back to it, you're like, because it's the same with you become numb to things. Same thing with buying shit. Bro, when you're younger and you get a birthday present and it's like €50 birthday present, you're like, whoa. And then when you're older, you're just like, really? Only 50? I want a Jordans.
I agree with that statement. You know what I will say though?
Same thing with everything in life.
You said, you said, so I think personally, I realize when I really like something when I stop doing it. Basically, it's the risk.
Yeah.
It's the thought of
you don't know
what you don't appreciate what you have until you lose it. And it's the same thing that applies, in my opinion, to like alcohol, smoking, music, partying, stuff like this. TikTok,
Honestly,
like it makes you realize how much you care about the thing, and it makes
how much
you realize
sometimes it can be a bad thing and a good thing.
Like, for example, if I'm telling you, if anyone tries this, and I would be really proud because I think most people that are listening to this do watch TikTok. Put your phone down, delete TikTok for a week or two. That's what Zach told me to do. Okay, delete TikTok for a week or two. Get on something else. Get on a grind. Do something else. Okay, read a book. Genuinely read a book.
You know how much hours people waste on that app?
Yeah.
I've been saying it for years.
Yeah.
Anthony, if you're listening, like telling you, I don't know because I really don't know, but next couple of years, in the next decade, you're gonna see either ginormous like downfall, some big hack, something fucking crazy is gonna happen with TikTok. Everyone's gonna go ballistic. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's like all the data gets lost or everyone gets fucking hacked. But even you're being programmed. Yeah. Like one of my favorite things that I hear is just like what that Kanye says a lot. He said, we're all slaves. Whether we're slaves to Nike, we're slaves to Adidas, we're slaves to...
True.
Bro, TikTok... number one at the moment, 100%. In my opinion. Especially with younger people. Bro, my mom's on TikTok. Yeah. I saw her the other... I'm like, what are you doing? Get off. Get off. You're being poisoned.
Yeah. So what I was saying is legit get off of it for 2 weeks and you would realize
or whatever you're
dumb
addicted to. Instagram, YouTube, whatever.
Anything. Get off of it and legit you will realize
video games are the worst ones.
How much dumb and how much
like League of Legends.
How much time you're wasting.
Someone has a dark past.
Oh, I have a really dark past. But how much time you're wasting on TikTok and how much dopamine it gives you, because you will realize, because when you go back to it,
your attention span gets fried.
Hopefully you don't get back on it. But if you do, you will realize, oh wow, you're so interested. Bro, you're watching a 3 seconds video. I'm sorry with anyone that does TikToks and with any guy that does dancing. Mate, with all due respect, you look gay. So like, come on. Get like shave your head, fucking go buzz cut. Like, I'm telling you.
Grow a beard.
Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, in general, like, you're just watching other people do things. Like, it's different.
Bro, the most popular TikToks is literally like a girl's fit. Like, the ones I see. Or either like the ones that are comedy or dances or whatever, like those are the biggest waste of time.
Yeah.
But even the ones that are like decent. All they are literally like relatable text over a girl's face or a guy going da da da, and there's a song in the background, and it's like when your mom does this, or when your boyfriend does, or when he has when he has blue eyes and dark hair, like bullshit like that, and you're
No,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? Another big misconception with that is you have to realize they specifically pick those phrases because they know they're so relatable. The creator don't fucking think of those phrases.
They see The Social Dilemma. It's a great documentary on Netflix. Honestly, it's kind of shit, but it's kind of good. Like, it's shit as a documentary,
but it has a good
point.
But
the information in it, bro, people did not know that shit for a long time, and it opened a lot of people's eyes. And that's why you're seeing. I've known this stuff from when I was young, or I thought about it when I was younger. I'm not gonna say I knew this stuff when I was younger, but when I was younger, I was like, what the fuck? Like, you legit see 6-year-olds in restaurants with tablets. I used to be one of those in a way. I wasn't that young, but like, when I was like 10 years old, I'd legit go to a restaurant with and start watching a movie.
Yeah,
bro, what the fuck is, like, you cannot, you just start to question, like, why? Okay, it's like the parents give it to shut them up, but why do they like it? Why are they so like hooked to it? These games, these TV shows, all this shit, bro. If like, I think a lot about like when I'm gonna raise my children and stuff. I'm staying away. They're staying away from that shit. I remember I had a friend in middle school that was like, his parents didn't allow him to use phones, no video games, no nothing. I was like, why? They don't give you any freedom, and I get that to a degree. But like, now looking back on it, I'm like, that's kind of better, honestly. I'm like, if anything, they did him a favor. He doesn't know it, and he was really fucking smart. He skipped a year even. He was in my year, and he was a year younger. Wow. I didn't like a lot of the things he said, and we had whatever beef, I guess, or whatever. But he was a smart guy. You could tell he was really fucking smart, especially for his age. And that's because of how his parents raised him. I did think they took it too far. Like, at that age, in middle school, high school, obviously depending on the person, but I think like once my kid is old enough, just give him. It's the same thing. Like, you're not driving until you're 18, but then when you're 18, you fucking pick. I'm not. You can't do this until you're. Do this when like the famous saying or whatever the parents say is like, yeah, pay for your own roof, pay for your own food, and then you could do it. Yeah, that's you need that too. It's like, I'm gonna keep my kid away from technology at a young age because they don't even know what the fuck if they're 6, bro. One of the things I've heard from like reading Jordan Peterson and shit, it's like kids need to cry. You can't shut up, stop, be quiet. Agree. You can't tame like you can't do that. You gotta let them like,
and don't give them a tablet to make them shut up.
Yeah, that makes it. Bro, at a young, they're controlling the minds, the attention. That's the number one currency these days. It's the attention of fucking ads make the most money.
Yeah,
everything runs on YouTube, movies, whatever, all stealing and robbing your attention, and you pay money for it. Even not like you watch. Do you know how much money YouTube makes? What are you doing? You're not paying anything. What you're losing. What you're giving is your attention, your time, you downloading the app, the gigabytes on your phone. That's what you're giving them. Yeah. You don't know how much money they make off that, man. Yeah. And then they what they do is like all the shit you agree to and you don't read. All of that is literally, they see how much time you're looking at it. They see what you're liking. They see how much, bro. Like, you like I bet you go on YouTube, you go on Facebook, and you search up you search up a movie. Yeah. I guarantee you, the next day you go on Instagram, that movie will pop up. Yeah, that actress will pop up, something like that. Guarantee you.
Okay, so right now I think we're drifting a bit far from where we started. We started with
they're controlling us.
We started with values, and I think we brought up a pretty good point. Another question is a lot of
I think to cut it short, basically, as a young person, be more self-aware. Try to not be addicted. If I'm being honest, just don't be whatever. Find it. Say, what am I putting most of my time into? What should I be putting my? There are so much people that like want to do shit, and they're like, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. Do you know how much books you could read? Do you know how much fucking even if it's a waste of time? Do you know how much movies you could see? Like, which I don't think is really that good, but like, there's so much things to do.
You know what I heard? I heard a quote yesterday. I will quote this because it's not 100% what it was. I don't want to put words into anyone's mouth. I don't remember his name. He's quite a known figure. He said something along the lines of, at night, before going to bed, lay in your bed, look up and think and say to yourself, what am I doing wrong? And your brain, if you stay there long enough and you ask yourself that question long enough, your brain will come up with answers. Even if those answers are not the ones you're trying to look for and are the ones that you don't want to hear, those are the answers you have to listen to. And I heard this and I wanted to try it out. I genuinely haven't had the time and I didn't do it last night. But I genuinely want to try it out because it sounds like it could. It would make sense in my head. I would personally think that would work, at least for me. But yeah, I think what you're saying that you have to focus.
If I had to put it to like 3 points.
Yes, that's the best way. Yeah.
I'd put it, and this is to myself too. I don't even listen to some of the things I say.
Yeah.
Like I wish I was as disciplined as I used to be, because I'm really not. Like I've let go of a lot of things, and I definitely want to get back to like going to the gym every day, being on my grind, staying awake. Bro, for a long time, I didn't click on YouTube. I didn't click on Instagram. Instagram, the only thing I went on for was texting. 45 minutes a day. All my screen time was on my gym app, legit.
Yeah.
I think the 3 things is legit stare at a wall. Legit stare at a wall. Think about your life. Think about what time you're putting into. Think about the attention. Think about whatever. Write. Like when you think about those thoughts, say, I'm going to do this. I don't want to do this. Set a limit and decide what you're write down things, goals, ambitions, what you should be doing, what you're wasting time on. Tell yourself those things. And then the third thing is just like, don't stop. Set small goals and don't stop. The thing about the writing, I guess you can put that with small goals. Little step, brick by brick. That's one of my favorite fucking sayings. Brick by brick. Don't look at the wall. Don't think about building the wall. Just one brick at a time.
Yes.
You can't think of a house and start fucking thinking about where am I gonna put the bed? But one brick at a time. Make the cement good. Make the thing good, and just don't stop. Like even if you hit a roadblock, start again, bro. It's the same thing with like addiction to cigarettes, addiction to alcohol. You went 2 days sober. You went a week sober. I only went a week and now I'm back to it. Bro, that's a week more than you have in 6 months. 6 months, you've been drinking multiple times a week, and now you be proud of that.
Yeah.
Say, fuck it, I'm going to have this drink, but tomorrow I'm going to beat it. I'm going to do 8 days. Set small, like don't go, I'm sober forever. What the fuck are you doing? Say, I've been drinking. If you're drinking every day, you literally can't. If you're drinking every day, you can't just go, like you could die.
Yeah.
You could die from not, so you have to go, I'm going to go 3 days. And then fuck it. If you fail, I deserve it. But don't let yourself. Obviously, just know what you're doing. That's about everything I'd say if you're at this age. Those are the 3 most important things.
Have any more points?
No, that's about it for this age. What about you on the thing?
I have.
I don't got much else to talk about.
A thing that I think is very, I guess I think people should be, should have an opinion on, or hear an opinion on, is for anyone that is doing this lifestyle or this mentality is what I call the non-give a fuck mentality. To put it in short words, a non-give a fuck mentality is pretty much a fuckboy mentality / bad boy. You don't really care about what people think. You don't care about what they say about you. You just don't give a fuck, really. You just do your own thing. You say whatever you want to say. What do you think that's necessarily something bad for someone our age to do?
It depends.
Or do you think it's better?
Some people can't handle it.
Yeah.
Some people can't handle the ego they get from that.
Yeah.
Some people, I bet, I know people. I know if I told them, try it, just go a week. Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Say your opinion. I do it sometimes. Yeah. I've legit said to people, I go, oh, you're dating that person? I don't like her. This is a piece of shit. There's that part of me that's like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. But then there's the other part of me where it's like, but that is what I think.
Yeah,
definitely. I do think, I don't like her. Like that doesn't. And then the thing with that is misunderstandings. One thing I cannot. I don't know if it's how I just fucking phrase shit. The one thing I get annoyed with the most, and why I personally can't do that, is I get misunderstood like crazy. If I say something like that, if I say like, "Oh, that's your girlfriend," I don't like her. Oh, what did she ever do to you? It's like it's not. I hate her.
Okay,
I don't know her. I just don't. I think you could do better. Like I think she's annoying. I just think she's annoying. I don't think she's the worst. For all I know, she's great.
Yeah.
But personally, it's kind of annoying.
It's like someone telling you like, I'm gonna use this as an example. Please don't like take this to heart. It's just an example. It's like someone telling you, "Oh, I'm going to the gay parade." Like fucking, and then you go like,
throwback to when we were in Bershka, and I just went, everything here is gay.
We'll get on to that. That's a good one. But yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as that. Like if someone tells you, "Oh, I'm going to the gay parade," personally, I would say, why would you go to that if you're not gay or whatever the hell? And I know it doesn't make sense because yes, sure, supporting like LGBTQ and whatever, but I'd be like, well, that's just gonna be boring, and they would probably say like, there would be, is it because like they're gay people? No, that's not why. It's just because why would you go there if you're not a part of their community anyways, right? So that's my thoughts.
Everyone who goes to the gay parade and says they're not gay is secretly gay.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I agree. We're gonna get a lot of shit for this. But I agree.
I'm kidding, but like,
I genuinely purely agree with that though. There is no
what I genuinely respect is like old
if you go
people,
with a friend.
like old, yeah.
If you go with a friend,
dude, it could be fun. Some of them look fun. Some of them look awful. It's I don't know. People is it because you don't like gay people? It's like no, it just doesn't look fun. Or it does look fun. I don't know. It depends. You know.
Yeah.
The one in Malta kind of looked whatever. So. I don't know. Like if there's food there, okay. Oh, I'm not gay, but I'm not gay, but I'm gonna eat the sausage. You know? I like gay people. I'm okay with gay. I'm here the food. I'm here for the food.
Me and Zach are fine with gay people completely. Like we've not.
We have to preface that. Like
no, I mean just.
I have gay friends. I have gay family members. They're better. They're better than straight people. Honestly, on some levels they are.
I don't know about better in general.
They're better. They're better at certain things because there's no woman and male fighting. I'm jealous as fuck of that. There's no arguing with a girl about like they just I swear to God, when you date a dude, it's just like there's no boom clashing. There's not nearly as much.
No, definitely. I think another thing is what's it called?
Because they have the thing in common with the woman, where they want dick, where they want to be with men, and then they have the male thing where they are like men. They're whatever, you know.
Another thing with that is like they understand both sides, and that's what I like. That's what I mean, and that's why people get misconception. Like the people that will fight you most about gay rights and gay like LGBTQ aren't gay. I'm telling you, aren't gay. Most gay people that I know personally, honestly, I'm just talking about personal knowledge. From my knowing, they don't like other gay people. They will defend them. They will like if you will offend them, they will say stuff about like to protect them, like to protect the society, but or not the society, the whatever it's the LGBTQ community, but they genuinely don't necessarily like gay people. And the reason for that, I think, is because
if I'm being honest, don't you think it's like, especially living here, don't you think it's partly like I want to be the only one? Like honestly, that I genuinely think that's it. I think part of it is like, I hate gay people. I just want to be the only one. Like, honest, I'm not kidding. I'm just like, I'm not trying to like diss I feel like that sometimes. If I see someone that looks like me, I'm like, fuck, I gotta change my haircut or something. Like, fuck me.
Yes.
I don't want to look like everyone. I'm like, everyone wants to feel special these days. And that's another topic.
That's another topic that we can. But okay, I want to go back to the Barushka. So basically, Barushka is a shop in Malta. It's in the Point. If anyone has been
link
here.
up.
And me and Zach were going through the store. We were looking at clothes, and Zach out of nowhere goes like,
I did it so loud, honestly.
He goes like, most of these clothes.
No, I
like,
said it like, I don't even know why I'm here.
Yeah.
Everything here's gay.
and then a guy.
There's nothing
overheard
wrong
Zach,
with that. Like, because I
Zach
said, I realized, like, oh, fuck, I said that so loud.
Yeah, and Zach goes like, "There's nothing wrong with that," and the guy just laughs. And
Obviously, there's nothing
the
wrong
eye
with that. And he
contact
just goes,
is-
it's the funniest thing ever.
It's really funny. To be fair, it might not sound as funny.
Obviously.
But-
you had to be there.
Yeah.
You don't get it. You had to be there. That's the one thing I hate. Bro, when people ask me, like, what's funny? Or, like, what are you guys talking about? And then we explain it, and they just go, that's not that funny. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You weren't there. Don't ask then. I'm laughing with him because he was there, and you don't get it. When someone go, oh, well, tell me, what happened? Well, we were at Bershka score, and I went like this, and then they just go, that's not that funny. Or, well, is that it? And yeah, that's it. But you weren't there, so stop. Just leave me alone.
Just try, like, when you hear certain stuff like that, just genuinely just try to zone
Yeah,
yourself.
it's like
But
I'm okay with saying it if it's actually like really. But some things aren't funny. Some things aren't funny when you hear them. Some things just can't
rarely,
be.
bro. Rarely.
Yeah,
they're
you have to be
real.
there, like, in the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, anything.
You
is-
can't. I can't.
It's the mood.
You don't know how that guy's face look. You don't know him looking like. You remember just the way he just. So
You know,
funny. And he went. He chuckled. He didn't laugh. He like chuckled.
Yeah, he reminded me of Mantis.
And then me and you just
Mantis.
busted out.
Yeah,
He was definitely gay though, right?
I don't fucking know. It kind of looked like it. No, this to you.
We love you.
Yeah. We love you, gay people. Don't take that the wrong way, guys. We did not. Fuck.
Maybe we should change the podcast name to Grain of Salt. Honestly,
Yeah.
take what we say with a grain of salt.
No, but he reminded me of Mantis. Shout out to Mantis.
Shout out to Mantis. Shout out to our kangaroo friend. Okay, we're reaching 50 minutes, so I say we should cut this in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. I think an hour is good. If there is anything, any points.
Bro, I mean, the thing I think a lot about is just getting out. I don't want to fucking say the Matrix. You're in the Matrix. Fucking fuck.
You can.
Fuck
say
all that shit.
Gives a fuck.
I don't. Legit, I swear, if someone comments,
it's just
I
get prepared.
swear
Just get
to God,
prepared.
if someone comments on this YouTube, you sound like Andrew Tate, but like better, I'm gonna legit blow my brains out.
Zach,
I don't want to get coffee.
But you're so stupid. But like now that you said it,
Now they're gonna do it, but I'm gonna tell you that like you're just doing it to fuck with me, or I
Yeah.
don't know. But if you got it, like
If
a
you
lot
think,
of people, the thing I'm
if you think
surprised
Zach
about is
Andrew Tate, you just wait until if we get into a topic about like. I'm not gonna spoil because it's gonna be an interesting one, but like if we're bantering and he knows how I am,
yeah, we gotta get into that.
well,
This is gonna be-
you'll hear some
we
like
could do 2-hour episodes.
you'll
legit
hear
easy.
like stuff come out of my mouth that not even Andrew Tate says. Like trust me,
Andrew Tate would be like baffled by what someone
Andrew
is-
Tate would be like.
Okay, that's a bit too
Okay,
far.
that's, have you ever seen the clip where Andrew Tate goes like,
I will
if
fight
my
him to
kid-
the death.
Yes. I will challenge him to
And then she
Mortal
goes,
Kombat.
Jesus Christ, that's a bit far. Yeah, I guess it is a bit. So that's the thing. A lot of people forget he's playing a character to a degree. I don't give a fuck. Like he doesn't, but he does.
Another thing,
He doesn't, but he
another
does.
thing that Zach said something once, and I really agree with it. It's you can't compare yourself to him. He has been in
He has a
situation,
lifestyle you can.
you-
Yeah.
like when you're in his lifestyle.
why I say it
then you can
depends.
say. Then you can
Bro,
say.
a lot of like
Like,
I
they
hate
talk.
kids or teen boys thinking that they can be him or that what he says applies to them.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you're not you're not
Andrew Tate,
35.
you're not
You're
a
not
5
6'4".
world-
You're not a kickboxing champion. You don't have fucking 30 supercars. You don't have
Romanian
a brother
bitches
that's
on your
also
fucking
you don't live in
yachts.
Romania. You don't have a yacht. What are you talking about? You didn't have his dad. You didn't grow up with. You can't say what applies to him applies to you. You literally don't have his options to a certain degree.
Definitely.
And whether you're seeing that as like I'm giving him credit or whatever, it's not even that. It's
I
the
give
it's
him
the
credit. I'm giving
because
credit.
in a way it's a bad thing. He's like not brainwashing people, but a lot of fucking idiots are thinking that like I can be like that. I'm like that. Like that doesn't apply to you until you've reached certain things, man.
Yeah.
You can't say certain things. You can't do what he does, have the views he has, without having the money he has to some parts.
Definitely.
Without having the options of women that he has to some parts. Without being at kickboxing. Without having... If you've never been in a fight, what are you doing thinking that you're like him or that you can fucking go to places that he goes to? It's a different
another
person.
Thing, but a thing that I will say.
You can have views and opinions, but that doesn't mean it applies to your life.
And then with me, I don't agree with people that blame him for that he's brainwashing people, because it's not him brainwashing people. It's people having a weak mindset. I don't want to sound like, oh, people are betas or whatever the fuck.
I don't understand why people can't just take it and be like, yeah, I don't really agree with that. Like, why do you have to? That's wrong. Let's massage.
Okay. Another thing I was gonna say, it's like you can't blame him. You can't. He's just sharing his opinion from his life, but like
what
his
he
life
says
knowledge.
Isn't that crazy?
It isn't.
I ask everyone what's misogynistic about what he says, and he's being serious.
Yeah.
The only thing I've heard is the cars. Women driving cars.
That's the thing is with that, and he has repeated this,
and
it
I've
makes
heard
sense. It makes sense. It's just from his experience. He says it from my experience. I feel safer when a girl drives than when a guy drives than when a girl drives. That's
for example,
just from his personal
personally,
experience.
Out of my parents, I feel safer with my mom. I feel safer with my mom. So like. Everything. I don't know why people have to take it as like, but that's not true.
Yeah.
Women drivers can be. Yeah, they can be. We know. Don't be stupid. Legit. What are you saying? And then don't be on the other end saying, yeah, women suck at driving. Fucking men are so much better. Like, don't, bro. I don't get it. Some people. And then I say anything that's remotely on like a bit to what he says, a bit to like. Because he says, that's the thing I disagree with him the most, and I think is his worst thing, is he says he lives like a traditional man or sees values like a traditional man. He's not a traditional man. You don't have multiple girlfriends and you call yourself a traditional man.
No,
you don't make money off of casinos and fucking OnlyFans and call yourself a traditional like, no. If you're going to do that, legit say, I've sinned. Like if you're gonna go to church and all do all that shit, he's being traditional about all the shit he likes, which is he pays for the shit and then he gets all the girls and what. But then, bro, he's not like, that's what I disagree with the most. If you're gonna be a traditional man, do it in every not the parts that benefit you.
Yeah.
The parts that benefit you, that's where you're gonna be a traditional man. But then when it comes to a woman, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna have multiple girlfriends. That's not loyalty. You're not a real traditional man or traditional values.
I completely agree with that. That's one point that I do not agree with him, and that you brought to my attention. The fact of having multiple girlfriends, that is not loyal in my opinion. That shouldn't happen. I personally think you
bro, like the thing is he's young. 35 is young, so for a man at least. It's like pretty young. It's old to our view, but it is young. Bro, he's got another 10 years like him being in his like
prime.
Not prime, but yeah. Bro, a guy when they're
Late
25
prime.
is when they start to like, bro, a 22-year-old guy, most of them have nothing. It's only at the age of like 30 that they start doing well or start doing dog shit. And then 45 is when you start to dwell off. A woman is a bit earlier. Same thing with like why women mature earlier, why women's brains I'm pretty sure develop even earlier, some shit like that. But that's what I mean. Like he's decent, but he's 35. His brother has a kid. Apparently.
Yes, I've heard.
She's cute. She's adorable. And she looks
don't
exactly...
Take that to the wrong voice.
She's adorable. She looks just like him too. But like that's what I mean. Like if you're a dad, what are you doing? Like fucking around in Romania and shit.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen his daughter personally, but I can imagine like she would look decent if she. Oh my god! Fuck!
We're gonna cut the. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Anyways, my point of view on the whole thing of the non give a fuck lifestyle.
All right, let's. I really don't. No one knows anything, but like. I just think some of the thing, like I don't agree. Some of the views, I'm like, yeah, I agree. Some of the views, I'm like, yeah, if I was in your position, I'd do the same. But a lot of the views, I'm like, you're not saying what you're actually doing. You can't say that. All right, you're not going 100%, like with the traditional male thing or whatever, traditional values or whatever. Another thing is like, bro, if they say all this shit, what's it called? The kid that he has, like the mom is just like some girl he slept with. Well, like, what are you doing?
No,
What are you doing? Then what are you?
Yeah.
Bro, I think the best, even if like you don't want to get married and shit, I think the most thing, like the most respectable, whatever, call it whatever thing a male can do, a woman can do, and
Is reproduce.
is a family, like a
Yeah.
proper fucking family. It's not making a kid with some girl at the club. It's like you picking your wife, like whether partner for life. Like this is who I pick, and then having kids with her, and like that's and if this kid he never sees her and she's just like the mom is just some girl. Bro, like then
That's
shut
just
up.
fucked up.
Then shut up. Then just be honest and say you fucked up. Say you're not a real man when it comes to that shit.
No. Yeah, I agree.
So there's certain things,
Yeah, but anyways, for me, my point of view as to the non give a fuck lifestyle, I think everyone should try it once in their life. I tried.
I think some people need it for sure.
Like I tried it. Zach knows this. It was really weird, but I did a period. I'm gonna keep this short, but I did a week of me just being a fuckboy, which sounds really weird, but you can do that. It's quite easy actually. And since then, it always stuck to me. And the biggest phrase that I learned, or the biggest thing I learned from that period of time, was to not give a fuck. And when I didn't give a fuck, I felt myself. I felt free. I felt I could say whatever. I didn't get affected by what people usually said.
That's the thing. That's the biggest thing.
And
in my opinion.
and that's made me really feel really good. So that's what I did, and I think everyone should try that.
But I think you've also done mistakes where you took it too
100%,
far because you didn't
100%.
think things through.
100%, 100%.
That's why I say, like, with some people, it's dangerous.
Yes, definitely.
For people with a ego, like a lot of people have an ego, you just don't know it. Like they're quiet, they're reserved.
Yes.
But trust me, if they said what they're really thinking, you're like, fuck, this guy like thinks highly of himself or whatever.
Yeah.
But once you get,
I agree, but like I said, if you're a close person, like I'm gonna mention someone, and I'm gonna shout him out because I genuinely think he needs this. Gary, if you're listening,
don't give a
this. You need this. Try it, please, mate. Trust me, it's good. It's good. Not Gary V. If Gary V's listening,
Vaynerchuk?
try it as well. But I'm talking about Gary. I don't remember his last name. But anyways, Joseph. Let's name it like that. Yes. Sundale. Anyways, yes, that's my point of view on the non-give-a-fuck lifestyle. I think you guys all should try it at least once in your life, just even for a week. Just legit. It's a really liberating experience in my opinion. And yeah, if you don't like it, just go back to your normal self. It's fine. It's all good. There's no...
Also, there's a certain degree to it. I think don't
100%.
like push it to the point where you're legit like getting into fights. Don't push it to a point where you're like having sex with girls you don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
Don't become a different person.
Yeah.
Just see what you're like. If you notice, you're like, fuck, I let people push me around too.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck,
exactly.
I have opinions.
Perfect point.
And I lie.
Perfect point.
I lie. That's what I never want to do. Is like I have an opinion of you, and I'm legit gonna like not. If you shut up, okay. If you shut up, it's like you don't want to tell them, you don't want to hurt their feelings. That's fine. If you're lying to them, you're like, yeah, you're a great person. And then in your head, you're thinking, fuck, but you're annoying as fuck. And then you leave that out. Like, dude, just be dead. Like, just say the truth. Say the fucking truth. Say it to their face. I've said to people's face, I go, I trust you. I respect you. I like you. Or I go, I like you more now, but I don't trust you. I don't think I ever will. After what you did, fuck that.
Yeah. I agree with that. I perfect point actually. I think I'm personally, from anyone that is listening, I tell my if you are gonna keep listening and stuff like that, I'm not a good example. One of mine, and especially Zach's favorite content creator, Sneeko says this a lot. Don't look at him as a role model. don't look at me as a role model, or personally, because
I think some
as Zach
people
knows, I pushed it too far. I don't have a filter anymore. I took off my filter, which is very liberating, but it's like a drug. It's legit like a drug. It's I don't care. I go up to people and I say whatever the fuck I want. If I get punched in the face, I get punched in the face. Not that I'm not consenting to violence. I'm not trying to like say that violence.
don't hit me.
But I'm just saying that's what would happen, and I genuinely wouldn't even mind if it means getting my point across and saying my actual
It's the
thought.
truth.
That's
it.
My favorite quote, that if you will follow me on Instagram, you will see it. It's not lies that cut, but it's the sharpness of the truth. That's my favorite quote of all time. It's actually done by a League of Legends character. It's fucking funny. So yeah, I think everyone should.
That's
try
a good way to end off this first episode.
I think this was a great first podcast. It wasn't bad.
Chill,
We
Just
roughly
us two.
went through a few topics. I think 4 or
I
3.
think that's a really important one to. If anyone could take anything from this, is just like tell the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Or don't lie.
Yeah, guys.
At least don't lie.
Yeah.
Just like you don't have to tell everyone. That's another thing. I push it sometimes. I tell people my opinion. They don't need to know it. Like sometimes I'm like, fuck, why did I say that? Because the person doesn't like.
Doesn't
or
really mean
someone
that
tells
much to
me,
you.
I don't like what you're wearing. I didn't ask. Go fuck yourself. I didn't ask.
Who?
Ask?
No, yeah.
But yeah,
anyways,
I think that's a good way to end it off.
It was
this
a
is
great
first
episode.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. The quality will improve. Things will get better.
If you like,
we'll probably have video up soon, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully in the next couple of episodes. We're looking forward to filming or recording our next episodes. Make sure you guys subscribe and do all the stuff that we're meant to tell you.
What is it?
Share?
Share,
Share is probably the most
comment,
important
and subscribe or something.
Honestly, don't comment.
And
I don't.
honestly,
comment the truth.
Comment actually your opinion. I'm actually down to see what you
Legit,
guys think.
we'll take criticism.
I'm fine with it.
But if anyone mentions the takes, okay.
Anyways, yeah, it was great talking to you guys, or talking. Kind of.
I can't hear you.
I'm dyslexic, guys. We'll leave that.
Guys, I'm dyslexic. I can't talk.
Anyways,
that's a good one.
Zach, great conversation.
Pleasure.
Thank you
speaking
guys.
with
Thank you guys for
for
listening.
lasting this long and watching this entire episode.
So yeah, thank you very much, and
Yeah, tell us in the comments if you are sick of us or if you'd like to hear more or what. I don't know. Yeah.
anyways, we'll catch you in the next episode, and peace out, guys.
Bye bye.